Welcome back to Copper Star Precision, the channel dedicated to getting you more points at your competitive shooting matches. Today we're continuing to go on with the August 2023 NRL22. This is the third stage in the booklet. It's called History Lesson, the Zigzag Ziggurat. Ziggurats are like those old Mesopotamian square-based pyramids. And kind of what we have here. We have the new pyramid prop. I put a video detailing on how you can build one of these props. Pretty straightforward, not too much money, great practice tool. And we're going to be seeing it probably a lot more in the matches. So might be worth getting one or building one yourself. If not, you can always substitute a ladder, kind of similar positions. But this stage has a lot of movements, 10-round stage. Basically, luckily it's a single target. I'll put the target size down here. It's a 3-inch at 100 yards for option 1. So generally decent sized target, but it's going to be one shot from 10 different positions. So let's go over the course description. The stage is as follows. On the start signal, engage the target with one shot per position, starting from the outside lower left and move up one rung after each shot until you reach the highest position you can safely reach. Then start working your way back down on the outside upper right. So essentially what we're doing here is up the left side, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then down the right, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10-round stage, so we don't need any mag change. If you can't reach the top rung, then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, then go down here, 7, 8, 9, 10, 9, 8. Work your way back up. So what are the keys to success on this stage? Definitely it's going to be target acquisition. It's going to be the biggest deciding factor. And this is the bonus stage, so there is an additional time component if you want to get extra points, but don't fall into that trap. And because if you miss a shot, it's not going to, no amount of time is really going to make up a missed shot on this stage. So let's talk about some gear and some tips for success. So like I said, target acquisition is going to be paramount here. Luckily it's only one target, so we're going to dial our dope. For me, it's 1.7 mils at 100. I can lock down the turret so I'm not tempted to bump it or move it. Have your parallax set before you start the stage, and for faster target acquisition, it always helps to be on a lower magnification. So generally speaking on stages, I'm somewhere in the between 15 and 20 power, usually like 16, 18 power on my scope. Here I'm going to dial down between 10 and 12, so probably 12 power. Having lower magnification on the scope is going to give you that wider field of view, which should be able to allow you to engage or at least find the target more quickly. And because we're doing basically 10 different movements, the speed to which you acquire the target is going to be key. And I might spend a little bit more time on that first position, making sure I'm super stable and try and make an impact, or at least see where it hits on the plate so I can use a wind call for the majority of the other engagements. But other than that, it's just efficiency in movement and fast target acquisition. So as far as gear goes, ladder stages and that kind of stuff, anything that you're moving around and having a lot of movement, I definitely recommend something like the Grey Ops plate with a flat bag on it. This one is the rail changer from Area 419, and this has a Armageddon Gear game changer on it. And I kind of like this one a little bit better. On the ladder stages, because the rungs of the ladder are pretty flat, having a bag like this and turning it sideways is usually advantageous, or having a flat bag like this because there's more surface area, and this would work on the 2x4s that are vertical. But just having this little wedge here kind of gives a much better purchase on the vertical 2x4s. So I'm probably going to go with this. And essentially the advantage over using this pyramid versus a ladder stage is because we're using the outside edges of the pyramid, we don't have to pull the rifle all the way out to go all the way back into the next ladder rung. Here, focusing on economy of movement, we can kind of just swing the rifle because these ends are open. We can kind of swing the rifle laterally instead of having to pull it out forward and back. So other than that, it's pretty simple. Go into the stage kind of knowing a game plan of whether or not you want to be prone, kneeling, or standing in different positions. I usually go prone on the bottom, but because this is kind of, you're pressed for time here, I may try and go into a low kneel. I know that may be difficult for some people, and maybe even difficult for me. That's why we practice these things ahead of time. The next two steps are kneeling for me, and the last two steps are standing. So essentially, all we're doing is timer goes off, whip that in there, and I can probably get to a low kneel. Not the most comfortable, but at least In the next movement, after I engage the target, it prevents me from having to get all the way up off a prone position on the ground. And again, economy of movement, so we're just gonna swing the rifle out and back in. That took like 2 seconds, so it's pretty good. Find the target, engage, still kneeling, swing out and in, engage. If you need some extra support, bring yourself a pump pillow, something like that. Engage, stand up, swing out and in. Remember, keeping legs straight. Do not bend the knees and use muscular support. We're always trying to use skeletal support. So spread your legs as wide as you need to get comfortable on the rifle. Engage here, take a step up. To get more height, we're doing legs closer together. I'm almost shoulder width apart here. Engage, move over, same thing. Swing out, same thing. Swing out, back to the kneel. Now, if you're kneeling, you can always do 2 knees down or 1 knee down. If you're gonna do 1 knee down, always make sure that your, whatever dominant hand you are, your trigger hand, so I'm right-handed, it's gonna be my right knee up. Try and keep this as close to a 90-degree angle as possible, and you can use your elbow into your thigh for support there. But essentially, that's the name of the game. It's just fast target acquisition. So again, keys to success are going to be swinging the rifle, keeping the economy of movement pretty contained, not making big movements, wasting energy, wasting time. Like for example, from rung 2 to 3, I'm kneeling here. I don't even have to move this kneel position. All I have to do is swing the rifle out and stand up more straight. So I haven't even changed my, my knee position for 2 to 3. So just trying to keep the movements as simple as possible. And like I said, faster target acquisition with lower magnification on your scope. Other than that, pretty straightforward stage, just a lot of movement. Don't focus on that time component for the bonus points. Focus on making your impacts, and stay tuned for the next 2 stages of this month's course of fire. Until I see you next time, as always, score more points.